Hey guys, it's Amy, and it is in the evening of January 23rd, 2023. And we're going to talk about some of the headlines outside of the shooting headlines that we've had in the last day. And guys, if you're new to my channel, we do talk about Gematria. And if you'll notice, I've got the four base ciphers on the screen that we use to decode the headline agendas as they are given to us, on a daily basis, exposing the agenda and the cabal. So if you'll notice, these are just your four base ciphers, guys. So A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, reversing it, Z equals 1. And then you're just going to reduce it down to where all the numbers are a single digit, right? So when you get to J being the 10th letter, it's 1 plus 0, 0. And then you're just going to reverse it. Easy peasy, right? So the first headline that we're actually going to go over today is one that we got yesterday. So I'm going to go over a few different headlines between a few days ago and today. But Michael Porter Jr. is a basketball player, and he was in the headlines because his brother was arrested in a fatal crash. So if you'll notice, there's the headlines, the screenshot. Now, Michael Porter, he's playing for the Denver Nuggets. He came from the Missouri Tigers. We just ended the year of the Tiger and started the year of the Rabbit. And this guy, Michael Lamar Porter Jr. So if you'll notice, his name equals 216 using just the base cipher of the A equals 1, B equals 2. And 216 is also 6 times 6 times 6, right? So these guys they're chosen for a role, and then that's how their career plays out, and that's how they die eventually. So if you'll notice, his name equals 216. It's 6 times 6 times 6 is 216, and this was 216 days after his 4-year anniversary. So his brother's arrested 216 days after his draft anniversary. So they also reported that the crash happened at 1:54 a.m. and we know ritual sacrifice is 1:54. So that's why they reported it at 1:54, and this is a sacrifice, for you might want to keep an eye on this guy's career because he possibly may be getting ready to do big things, or he's getting ready to come out with a clothing line, like something, because they all sell their soul for the money and the fame. The movies are not lies. They're telling you the truth right in your face, guys. So today we got the headline of the McHale's Navy actor. So McHale's Navy star Yoshio Yoda dead at 88. So we got all these headlines, and today is January 23rd, which is why we get the headline of this guy being dead. And we got the 174 for the number of the beast in McHale's Navy, so he sold his soul for this movie. Today is actually 67 days before his birthday, which we know is a big sacrifice number. So his full name is 67. Today's headline comes 67 days before his birthday. Human sacrifice and blood sacrifice is 67. And then we also have the 67 date numerology as well, as to why they gave us the headline today, because he actually died on the 13th, but they didn't put it in the headline until today, and that's the reason that they had held that headline, because they do this a lot. You'll see an actor or a ball player die, and then they'll release it, by this same number pattern that we see, the kill code sacrifice pattern. We also got the headline today of the beloved gay Olympic athlete, Simon Dunn. So here's the headline, January 23rd. And guess what his name equals? January 23rd. So that's why they put him in the headline today. He actually died on the 21st, which was, the blood sacrifice number that we had told people, we were going to see some sacrifices that day. No different from the shooting up there at the Lunar New Year. Remember how I said we just entered into the rabbit, the Chinese New Year rabbit left the tiger. Well, we had the shooting, and it's in a different video, but the name of the shooter is 121. It equals 121. And he shot up the place on 121, and now this guy's, dead on 121 as well. He's dead 187 days before his birthday, which is a Society of Jesus and a Brotherhood of Death number. It's also the National Murder Code 187. So you see a lot of people die 187 days before or after their birthday or big event that made them famous. It's patterns, guys. It's the same patterns over and over. So we also got the headline today of Christian Serranio mourns the death of the model Jeremy. And he's dead at 27, and right there's those 187s again, right? So he's got the 187, the 79, and the 83. Just like the murder. I mean, these are the murder codes, right? These are the same numbers you're going to see anytime you see a headline death, between the sacrifices and things like that. They also, all the headlines pulled out, that she said that he would always be one of my muses and always will be, right? And they put it in quotations. And that's the 144 because she's just marking or he's just marking the territory, right? So they're just letting you know that it was a sacrifice. They actually put it out at 7:09 p.m. too, like look, 79, 79. See how they code these headlines? Like it's all bullshit by the numbers every day. One more before we actually talk about Paul Pelosi because that one's kind of weird. So we're going to talk about the dead comedian, and we've already talked about the dead comedian several times this year with this same pattern in the 44. So you're more than welcome to go back and look at some of my other videos because it's going to be the same number pattern with this guy. So we got PoLo PoLo dead. Looky there, we're doing the same thing. So they found him in this club. That's where he was playing at. Which equals 67, just like the date numerology. He's dead in 2023. This is where he actually got to go play. Like whenever, I guess this is probably when he sold his soul. So if you notice, the article talks about that for consecutive years, he was the hallmark of the nightclub, that word, until 86 when he had his opportunity to perform in the largest room in Mexico called Crown Hotel Plaza. And right there it is, the 115. And we talk about this number all the time. We had four football players last week that died 115 days after their draft date. And now we've got this guy, he sold his soul and got to go there, and now he's a dead one. He's actually dead 76 days before his birthday. And if you'll notice his born name, what he was born with, is 76, and he's dead 76 days before his birthday, and Skull and Bones is 76. And we always see the comedians die by that 44 code, and PoLo PoLo was another one. He was a comedian, and his name was 44. It also mentioned he sold over 100,000 copies of the first live album that he recorded, which was called A Trip to Spain. And A Trip to Spain is 73, just like Ritual Sacrifice and Sacrifice. Another one of those numbers that we see all the time in those kill headlines. Now, the most interesting one here lately was Paul Pelosi. So this one's kind of weird. So I know y'all remember Nancy Pelosi and the hammer attack and all that bullshit right there at the end of October. So this headline popped up in the news 2 days ago. And might have been 3 days ago now. We'll know here in a second. But so Nancy Pelosi apparently summoned priests to do an exorcist over their home of evil spirits, right? And this headline was actually released by their daughter. Okay, so keep that in mind, right? So Nancy Pelosi calls the priest to perform the exorcism after this attack, and this was published on 121, that sacrifice date, right? So we got Paul Pelosi, got the 144 and the 54, sharing it with Mark of the Beast and Jez's daughter. Now, he was attacked on October 28th, okay? So watch this. He was attacked October 28th. This came out in the headlines on the 21st. So that was 86-day span later, right? And we've got Pelosi, 86 days after the attack, we get this headline. So we got blood sacrifice equaling 121 and 86. So we're on the date January 21st. This headline comes out. We got 86 days after the attack. Now watch this. His daughter is the one that released this headline, right? She's the one that told Time Magazine or whatever that talk show was. It is also 257 days before her birthday, right? So now let's look at blood sacrifice using the four base ciphers, right? So we've got January 21st. We're 86 days away from the attack, and we're 257 days away from the birthday of the person that releases this headline. So Paul Pelosi might need to watch out because we're also 64 days away from his wife's birthday, and we know Kill is 64, and this attack happened on the 64th day. I actually did a post on this when it happened, wondering I think I even titled it like, was this supposed to be a sacrifice? And now here we are. What was it? On January 21st, and the daughter releases this headline 257 days before her birthday and 86 days after the attack that they had to get an exorcism in their house. So, I don't know, guys. All right, guys. So like and share, subscribe if you're not. I appreciate you support my channel and everything that you guys do, and I'll talk to you later.